Nothing bad happened. No exam week, no crisis, and not a major event in my life. Still, I just stopped making content. For a week, I kept telling myself that I'll start tomorrow. I open my notes, stare at them for 20 minutes, and close my laptop and start scrolling again every day. And here's the part that actually messed with me. I wasn't even enjoying the phone time. I was just numb. That specific kind of tiredness where you haven't done anything, but still you have zero energy to start. And that's what this video is about. So here's what exactly my weeks look like. Monday, I had a good video idea. Good one actually. I told myself that I'll script it after finishing my assignment. I didn't script it. Tuesday, opened the notes app, wrote 2 lines, closed it. Watch YouTube for 2 hours instead. Thursday, Friday, same loop. Wake up, feel behind, feel heavy, doom scroll. Sleep late and repeat. And the whole time, there's this background noise in my head. You're wasting time. You're falling behind. Other people are posting. Why can't you just start? But the noise didn't make me start. It just made me feel worse about not starting. By the weekend, I wasn't even thinking about content anymore. I was just tired, low graded, unexplained, and didn't do anything. And that's the thing nobody really talks about. Procrastination doesn't feel like laziness from the inside. It feels like exhaustion. Here's what I think is actually happening when you hit that wall. Most people think procrastination is about not wanting to do work, but that's not it. If you didn't care and you wouldn't feel guilty, you won't be here. You won't be here watching this video with that all constant background noise. The real problem is something you call decision fatigue mixed with low perceived return. Every time you sit to start, your brain actually runs a calculation. How much energy do I require for this work and how good the actual result will be? And that's when you're already tired and all the calculation that you did comes back to negative. The task feels bigger than that it is. The result feels further away than it is. And your brain chooses the path of least resistance, which is the phone, YouTube, sleep, anything that delivers something small right now. This isn't character flaw. It's your brain doing exactly what it's designed for. And then the guilt kicks in. So now you're more tired than before. And the next time you sit down, your calculation will be worse. And that's the loop. Procrastination becomes tiredness. And that tiredness creates more procrastination. You're not lazy, you've caught in a drain cycle. And the solution is not to try harder and not to break the cycle at the right point. Okay, here's the actual protocol I ran to get out of that week. And these are 5 steps. These are specific, not concepts. Name the real drain. When I fell off content for that week, my first instinct was to blame myself. But when I actually sat down and thought about it, I realized I have been sleeping at 1 AM every night. My screen time was averaging 4 hours plus, and I haven't even trained properly in 5 days. I wasn't procrastinating because I was undisciplined. I was procrastinating because my baseline energy was just low. And low energy means high resistance to do anything that requires real output. So before you try to fix the procrastination, figure out what's actually draining you. Is it sleep, phone, no physical movement, social stuff that taking out your mental peace? Find the drain first, because if you try to push without fixing the drain, you'll last for 2 days and crash again. Lower the task until it's embarrassingly small. Here's what I did the day I came back. I didn't script a full video, I didn't plan a calendar. I opened my notes app and wrote 1 sentence about the video idea. That's it, and stopped there on purpose. I know that sounds ridiculous, but this is backed by the actual behavior science. There's a concept called activation energy problem. If you may start small enough that it takes less energy than picking up your phone, you will do it. 1 sentence, 1 rep, 1 paragraph, and 1 minute. Don't ask yourself to do the work. Ask yourself to touch the work. And most of the time, you'll keep going. But even if you don't, you broke the avoidance streak. And that's what matters more than you think. Eliminate the easy alternative, not add willpower. I used to think that the problem was that I didn't have enough willpower to start. But willpower isn't the bottleneck. Friction is. When your phone is on your desk, charged, with notification on, the phone is a zero friction. But when you want to start something, that's a high friction. Of course, your brain will pick the phone. So instead of trying to want the work more, I make my phone harder to reach. Phone goes in the other room, and before I sit down, my God mode is on. I'm not fighting my brain. I'm just changing the landscape so the path of least resistance leads towards the work instead of away from it. And this single change cuts my procrastination in half. Not motivation, not discipline, just friction. Work in shorter blocks than you think you need. When I'm rebuilding after a procrastination spiral, I don't do long work sessions. I do 25-minute blocks with a hard stop. And I mean hard stop. Timer go off. I close the laptop regardless of where I am. When you think you are in a low energy week, Committing in a 3-hour long session feels like a sentence. Your brain sees it coming and resists it before you even try to start. But 25 minutes? That's nothing. You can do anything for 25 minutes. And psychologically, ending the session with yourself and your terms while you still have the energy means you actually want to come back to it. Compare that to grinding for 3 hours straight until you are completely empty and you start to hate the project. Short blocks protect your relationship with the work, and that relationship is what keeps you consistent for that long term. Recover energy in parallel, don't wait for it. This one's important. A lot of people think that I'll get back to work when my energy feels better. But if you're in a low energy drain cycle, waiting for the energy to get back in keeps you in that cycle. The move is to work on energy and on the output at the same time. While I was getting back to content, I also tried to fix my sleep cycle the same week. Not perfectly, just setting a consistent time to be in bed. No screens 30 minutes before it. I'm trying to still correct it. I even started training again with full efficiency, even if it's a 20-minute session. Not because I was trying to overhaul my life, because I know from experience that physical movement is the fastest way to raise baseline energy. You don't wait to feel good, start. You do the small things which makes you happy. Along with that, you do the small things which counts as output, both on low settings, both on same time. By the third day, I scripted all my reels. Not perfect, not a banger, just done. And that one output broke the spell. Because the issue was never that I didn't know how to make content. The issue was that every day I didn't make something. The idea of making something got heavier. Avoidance inflates the task and action deflates it. That week felt like a challenge that I had to overcome. And the actual fix was writing one sentence on a random afternoon with my phone in the other room. And that's it. Procrastination wasn't protecting me from anything. It was just a drained cycle that I hadn't interrupted yet. And if you had a week like that, where nothing dramatic happened, you just quietly stop, and I want to hear this. You're not broken, you're not lazy, you're not someone. You just can't stay consistent. You hit a drain cycle, and drain cycles have a mechanism, and mechanism can be interrupted. You don't need to feel ready, you don't need a new system, and a goal for a better version of yourself. You just need one sentence, one repetition, and one tab open. And that's how it starts every time. And honestly, this month has been a lot. Studying, learning tech and cloud, building my personal brand, working with clients, training, trying to balance everything without completely burning out. Some week felt good and some genuinely very messy. But one thing that I've learned in this, consistency isn't about falling off. It's about how to come back without turning one bad week into a bad month. So if you're rebuilding right now, quietly and imperfectly, you are doing better than you think. And if you want more of this, the practical system, no fake motivation, no fake discipline, while I document my journey on figuring this out in real life, welcome to my channel. Louis Lamyanba, over and out.